Hey, what's happening out there? This is Halftime Prep Talk, the region baseball and softball preview edition. I got my Bobby Bonilla Rawlings glove with a little green paint on it from 4th grade. Yes, I've had it that long. Infielders like small gloves.
So your hand hasn't grown since 4th grade?
No comment. We're going to look ahead to the region tournament with a little role-playing game called State the Case. But before that, we're going to take a quick look back at the district tournament. Of course, you're watching Halftime Prep Talk on dailyindependent.com, the Halftime Prep Talk Facebook page, or possibly YouTube, right?
Possibly.
Yeah. All right, HTPT is brought to you by Fannin Automotive Family. Let's take a look back at this week, guys. We got Matt Sparks and Zack Klemme here. I'm Aaron Snyder. I was there Monday night at Ashland, the alumni field, and one of the wildest games of the week happened on Monday night. It was a 5-4 win for Ashland, but it didn't look real good for a while. Things were looking quite gloomy for the Tomcats. Going to the bottom of the 7th inning, they were down 4-3. But they fought back. Some things went their way. They took advantage and won the game 5-4. And Coach Johnny LeMaster was hoping that it could be a precursor of good things to come.
Well, when you come and fight and have to fight back not only once but twice, and you ended up doing it, then it kind of sets the tone. Maybe some good things are about getting ready to happen.
So far, guys, Coach LeMaster's hunch was correct. They ended up beating Boyd County, and they were the 64th district champion. I wonder if Coach LeMaster played against Bobby Bonilla.
A big question to ask him next time we get him on.
I think he probably did. They played about the same era.
Yeah,
I'm going to toss my glove to the side. It's getting a little warm out here.
Yeah.
You toss your glove and you toss it to Zach.
I like it. Yeah. All right, we'll stay in the 64th district. Looking at softball, Boyd County down 2-1 early in its game against Ashland. Ashland, of course, had beaten them a couple weeks ago, but got after it offensively. 5-run 3rd inning, got up 6-2 there, and Coach Jeff Stewart was pleased to see his team rebound and not settle.
That's the thing we've done all year is fight back. We never quit. Any of our losses, I know we lost 13 times, but we also won 24, and we have come back numerous times. We don't ever quit. I have a lot of confidence in their hitting, and the one good thing about tonight, they hit strikes. They laid off our high stuff. They laid off our changeup. We hit pitches in the strike zone, or close to the strike zone, and I've told them all along, if you're a good enough hitter, hit the good pitch, more times than not, you'll get a base hit out of it. So I thought our pitch selection was a big part of that. We hit good pitches.
Well, guys, how important it is to get a #1 seed in the 16th region tournament? Well, for one, you get to avoid the Jolly Green Giants from Greenham County in the opening round. West Carter coach Tim Johnson with his thoughts.
Helps a lot, but not as much as going in as a 1 seed.
Right.
Yeah, we're going to avoid. Hopefully, we'll avoid Greenup and Round going in. We're familiar with everybody that we could possibly play. We've played them all this year, and I think that being able to come back after we give up 3 runs, and like I said, that's probably my fault. We got a little tired on the mound. I didn't get him out in time. But being able to come back and battle back, and that's what you got to do in a region, because you don't just go out and beat people. Everybody that's there can play. So I think we'll be ready to go.
Greenup County is unquestionably, guys, the heavy favorite. More overwhelming than in recent years. Probably the most overwhelming favorite we've had in quite some time in the 16th region.
Right.
Of course, they do have Boyd County in the first round, and we'll look at the brackets here in just a little bit. But the first thing that I asked Coach Logan the other night when they won the 63rd District Championship over Lewis County pretty handily, 10-0, I asked him, is this a position that you guys are comfortable being in? And in fact, the favorite is exactly where they have accepted being in.
It's good to embrace it, some years we've went into it and not been the favorites, and we've been at about the bottom, but this is a much better approach going into it. But the record doesn't mean a whole lot. There's 4 winners, there's 4 losers going on, and I told Jim that if anybody lets their guard down, they're going to make an early exit. So I think it's pretty even, and that's something that we cannot do, is let our guard down. And I think that you will see the teams that's going to make an early exit. So we got to be prepared to not do that.
Okay, guys, Fleming County is going to be the site of the 16th Region Baseball Tournament. It begins on Monday. 4 games on the full slate there on Memorial Day. What a way to celebrate a holiday, right?
That's right.
Try to plan your cookout before or after the game that you're planning on watching. So the action starts at 10 a.m. You got a full day of baseball. And we also got a full day of softball over at Bath County. The action begins at 11 a.m. over there. East Carter's, obviously, we talked about Greenup County being the favorite. East Carter is undefeated going into the softball tournament at 31-0. And Coach Derek Calhoun, I talked to him the other day, and he said that, the 62nd District Championship was just that one step. It's a stepping stone. And I know something he said jumped out to you as well, Zach.
Absolutely. It was just a matter of he's saying, okay, we've gotten to this point and this is great and we're happy about this, but everybody else is after the same thing we are in a one-game scenario. Anything can happen, When Montana fouts, you feel pretty good about most one-game scenarios, but that's the reason they play softball and baseball is that it's just crazy things happen in one-game scenarios, and he knows that they cannot afford to let the pedal off the metal, so to speak.
Yeah. Matt, going into the softball and baseball tournaments, what were your initial thoughts when you saw the brackets?
Well, I thought, in the baseball, really the top bracket is really tough. Greenup County, Boyd County, and the opening game of the tournament is going to be very interesting. And then on the girls' side, it really balanced. I thought really some great possible semifinal and final matchups there.
Okay. Well, it's time to move on. We're going to play a little game called State the Case. Each of us are going to take two teams, one baseball, one softball, and you guys are actually going to take some contenders, possible contenders, other than the favorites. I'll take the favorites just because I'm feeling like getting on my high horse here. Okay. Greenup County's 36-1. Let's start with baseball. And first thing I want to do, guys, is I'm going to play the role of Greenup County. You guys pick another team that you'd like to play the role of. That'll be unveiled in our case here. Greenup County is my team, and all I really need, guys, is a little video evidence. Let's go to the tape. Let's look at these couple highlights from the other night, from Thursday night at Raceland, when Greenup County beat Lewis County 10-0. Gage Hughes 3-run jack, and Christian Wireman 2-run single, 2 of his 4 RBIs. Let's take a look at that. Okay, to further state Greenup County's case for another trip to state in Lexington, which will be beginning on June 9th, guys, I'll just say this. Deepest pitching staff in the region. And Tristan Downing kind of starts it off. You have Ryan Lambert, who pitched very well in the district championship game the other night. He's undefeated on the season. Zach Hayden, who's not been used really as much as last year. He hasn't had as many decisions. He was 7-0 last year, 3-0 this year. Jackson Keaton, another solid pitcher, just solid arm after solid arm that I know Greg Logan and Steve Logan will feel comfortable turning to. So me as Greenup County, I don't see anybody hitting the ball well enough to beat us.
Well, those are really great points, but I'm going to take the Ashland Tomcats. We still got a proud tradition down there in Ashland, and we got a great group of young players on this team. Very versatile team that's been able to hit the ball some, and also we got a very versatile pitching staff as well. I think our coach Johnny LeMaster, he really likes to have all his players be able to pitch on that mound, and probably I think we might have one of the best infielders in the region in Braxton Ratliff.
Are you forgetting about my shortstop, Gage Hughes?
Well, I said one of the best.
Okay.
I didn't say the best. I said one
so
of the
both
best.
of them fit in the mold of one of the best.
Yes.
Okay. Are you forgetting about my second baseman, Kyle Gammon?
No, I'm not forgetting about anybody.
Well, where are you going to find a better middle infield?
Now, hang on a second,
and throw
guys.
in my center fielder, too,
If
Jared
I'm
Hunt.
Tim Johnson, I'm sitting there thinking, you guys are over here arguing. I'm really disrespected here. Ben Jordan, my Kentucky commit,
Wes
is out.
Carter.
He's injured. He's broken his hand. Okay, he may not play for us the rest of the year, but we're not a one-man show, okay? We got this guy named JT Johnson, who happens to be my son. Pretty good infielder. He can pitch a little bit. We got this guy named Peyton Brown. Pretty good infielder, pretty good outfielder, can pitch a little bit. We got Zach Walker, he can pitch a little bit. I think he's the best center fielder in the region, so you guys can have your guys. But if I'm Tim Johnson, I'm sitting there thinking, okay, well, we got some pieces too. We got some pitching too. We may not have our number one pitcher, the big guy, so everybody's kind of overlooking us. But
what's your record again there, Tim?
We've got Caden Rose. He can pitch a little bit.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, we're
not
not
as
bad.
good as 36-1, but
all
it's
our
pretty
champions. You got us pretty good early in the season, but we got you all pretty good just a couple weeks ago. In fact, I think we kicked your tail. So if I'm Wes Carter, I'm sitting there thinking, okay, nobody's talking about us. Why is nobody talking about us? Just because we don't have Ben Jordan, we got a pretty good team here. We got a lot of young guys, and we're feeling pretty good about it.
Wait a minute, Wes Carter. That's a regular season. That's been a long time ago. I think we're a totally different team now. I think we're really looking forward to that matchup possibly in that semifinal.
I'd say so.
Okay, so you got Lewis County in the first round.
Yes.
You know, they split with you this season.
Well, like I just said, we're a tournament. I think we're a tournament tested team. Based on what the district.
But see, me as Greenup County, I'm looking at it, and I outscored Lewis County 36-0 on the season. So,
well, we're known as the comeback cats.
Okay.
We're never out of the game. We could be down a little bit, and we can always come. We always have willing to come back.
Okay, all right. Well, we now know the cases of Ashland, West Carter, and Greenup County.
That was tremendously entertaining.
But there are some more
I gotta say.
teams in the tournament, guys.
Oh, yes.
There are 5 other teams that probably feel really disrespected right now.
Yeah.
So don't throw rocks at us. Or you can. I don't know. I always bring my shield to games anymore anyway.
As long as it's a rock and not like a dead crow or whatever.
No, remember this is just a role-playing scenario. We're going to move on to softball, guys, and I'm going to take the role of the favorite again. I'm going to be East Carter. All I got is 2 words for my case. That's Montana Fouts. Okay, go.
Okay, I'm Ashland. I got 3 words for you. 6 straight regions.
Ooh.
Now, we might not have Megan Hensley anymore, but we got another Megan that's not a bad
I thought it was 7
pitcher.
straight.
Maybe it's 7. I can't count.
Oh,
But we got 7 straight.
so you lost. You won so many, you've lost.
That's terrible.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, that's what it is. I got that written down somewhere. But
Oh, my goodness.
I don't know. It just gets old, this winning and winning all the time. We may not have Megan Hensley anymore, but Megan Murphy's a pretty decent pitcher in her own right. She's not Montana Fouts, but she's the 2nd best pitcher in the region in almost every statistical category. She's had a good season. She's kept Ashland right there in the mix of things. Our offense is a little hit or miss.
All right.
See what I did there?
Yeah.
But really, we got down big to Boyd there, as we talked about a little bit in the district final, but we came back, we made it interesting at the end, and you're one, long ball right there from putting kind of the fear in the back of their minds there. And we've got a lot of new players that have not played top roles on these region champions, but we've got a Haley Kilburn back, we've got a Gabby Ingram that has come on really over the course of the year. She wasn't one of our top hitters last year, but she is now. She really pushes us along, and we've got a Megan Murphy right there in the circle, and those are just some of the pieces we got. That's not everybody. Sydney Campbell's a great catcher behind the plate, maybe the best, among the best at least in the region. So and we played you guys pretty close too during the regular season.
That is true.
So
That is true. But
we're feeling pretty decent about our chances to at least make things interesting.
Yeah, well, we're hitting the ball as well as we have all season.
Yeah.
Taylor Jackson's on a roll, mind you. I mean, I think she's hit safely in 9 of her last 10 at bats. She's really heating up, and you got to look at my defense, okay? If you are lucky enough to hit Montana Fouts, you got to get it through a rock solid infield, and we got a pretty good outfield too. 12 errors all season in 31 games, guys. I don't know. I mean, I'm stating my case right now. I think I'm going to close it.
It really seems like y'all forgetting this little team from Flatwoods, this Russell softball team.
Oh boy,
we just came off winning our 8th district title in the last 9 years. I think very impressive. Y'all have quality pitchers. I think I have a quality pitcher too in Haven Lane. Just a freshman, very tested this year. We have 3 really quality pitchers though too. Really sets up well for a tournament type scenario with Cassie Foltz and with Alexis Maynard too. And you got to look at Sarah Heineman, who's really become more of a power hitter. Really a great addition to that middle of that lineup.
And to add to your case, Coach Dave Wheeler spoke about the tough schedule that Russell endured this season that could help prepare them for this week.
Team Russell, we won this game in March, we won it in April, we won it in May. We play a lot of good teams. We go out and find teams to play. I can't say enough about our pitching.
All right, I hope you enjoyed the game and state the case. We need to mention a few other teams. We're here at Ernie Chatton Field, where we're going to continue chatting.
At Central Park.
Very nice.
We're going to continue chatting about the softball tournament, guys. There are several other teams we need to mention. Zach, I know you want to talk about Fleming County, who is coming off a 1-0 victory over Round County.
6 district championships in the last 8 years, and
that's kind of a surprising stat.
Absolutely, it is, because Rowan is in that district as well. They're usually pretty tough. Bath was not a bad team either this year, so they could have been in the mix. We're not able to get past Rowan in that first round. But you look at, of course, Fleming has Nathan River probably has nightmares about Ashland because they've played. And River was not the coach for all these, but since Fleming came into the 16th region in 2006, they've played Ashland 5 times. Every one of those in the first round of the region tournament, every one of them a loss. So, I mean, they know who they have to beat right from the get-go. The thing about it is they've never played in the regular season. They have not played since 2012. Ashland has not seen Megan Claypool. Megan Claypool has not seen Ashland, and they're not familiar with Megan Murphy either. So it could be very interesting as far as they're kind of feeling each other out and seeing what. And Fleming is going to sit here and say, well, they just talked about how great the kittens are there on HTPT. Well, no, they're not respecting us. So you expect Fleming to come out kind of with a chip on its shoulder, and they want to say, hey, don't forget about us. We haven't played a lot of the top contenders. They haven't played East. They got beat pretty good by Boyd in the regular season, but don't forget about us. We're over here just doing our thing. We've won 6 of the last 8 districts, and we're ready to kind of take that next step as well.
That's an interesting matchup too, Zach. I think Ashland cannot get caught looking ahead to that maybe next round because Fleming is a very quality opponent that could really they could take him. But that Ashland across their chest is going to carry a lot of weight.
Yeah.
7-time straight region champions. I mean, they're usually there. They're usually very effective in that tournament, so it's going to be a very key first-round game.
Yeah, no doubt about that. You covered Raceland in the 63rd District Championship against Russell. Of course, they lost that game, but Raceland has put up nearly 400 runs on the season. East Carter has allowed the fewest amount of runs, so you have that pitching defense going up against a solid offense there in Raceland.
It's kind of like an opposite scenario there. Raceland is so good at hitting the ball, but you got Montana Fouts who very rarely gives up a hit.
I'm sure Raceland will be ready and eager to face the challenge.
Really, I think they really accept that role. I think they're going to come out there and just swing away and hope for the best. And
she typically throws strikes.
Really, Raceland got nothing to lose in this scenario. East Carter has all the pressure on them, and so Raceland can just go and just play.
Okay. Boyd County took East Carter. They're one of the closest teams to beating East Carter throughout the season. Of course, Russell played them close, Ashland played them close. But Boyd County took them to extra innings and nearly spoiled their unbeaten run just last week at East Carter in their home closer. So Boyd County is a team that we can't forget about either. They have 24 wins this season, hitting the ball as well as they have all season. Ariana Canoy and Destiny Goins anchor the middle of that lineup, and they're also they make up the battery of that team, pitcher and catcher. So Boyd County might be their turn. It might be their turn. It might be East Carter's turn. East Carter is still young, 7 sophomores they start. So we had them on HTPT earlier this season. They seem very confident, but also very focused.
Yeah, and why wouldn't you at this point? They've just one thing maybe you can say about them is they haven't played the toughest schedule in the world, but they can't control that. You go out there and you pitch the ball in the strike zone and you swing the bat through the strike zone and you feel the ball when it comes to you. You do control what you can control. And I will say, too, in Derek Calhoun's defense, they tried to play Henry Clay twice. Didn't work out either time.
Yeah. They nearly played McCracken County.
Yes, he's talked about trying to beef up the schedule. He knows that they want to get down to state and compete. You got to do that. Ashland has done that. Boyd has done that. Russell has done that. Playing tough teams from outside the region, and East is working on trying to do that. It didn't work out so much this year, but all that to say they've controlled what they can control, and now they just their mindset is probably you just keep doing that and you're fine.
You got to remember, East is still a very young team.
Yeah.
Montana Fouts is only a sophomore. I mean, she's been around for a long time. You'd think that she'd be older than that, but she's a sophomore. Yeah, I think Derek Calhoun is just trying to build up. Maybe get some more experience this year. Maybe they might advance to state. But they still got a ton of talented young players that they could go to state more years to come.
Johnson Central trying to return to state out of the 15th region. Let's talk about the 15th region teams for a second. New coach Christopher Pierce. His daughter McKaylin Pierce is a standout pitcher for them. The Lady Eagles coming off a 2-0 victory over Magoffin County. So I think that Johnson Central, we need to remember that Lawrence County just beat them recently as well. So it could come down to Johnson Central and Lawrence County in 15th region softball.
Central has one loss in the region this year. That is to Lawrence. They beat Magoffin twice. Magoffin County, another very good team out of that region. So Lawrence has lost to Magoffin twice, but they've been competitive in both of those games. Really, Lawrence is, I believe, 12-4, if I'm not mistaken, against the region, and only one bad loss to Pikeville. You can probably throw that out the window. But they've played Magoffin close twice. They lost to Central close, but they also beat Central. So those two are probably right there in the mix, and you can't count Magoffin out either.
Johnson Central baseball, you got to look at Jordan Blanton. He leads the area in batting average, 487. Leads the league in leads the area in stolen bases. We don't have a league here. 34 of those. And he also has 45 RBIs, trailing Gage Hughes in that category by 1 in the area. So Jordan Blanton, it starts with him at shortstop, but they also have good pitching. Tate Mead, Josh Hitchcock, Braxton Kelly, a lot of different arms, different arm angles, different speeds that they throw at you as well. But Lawrence County is playing about as well as they have all season. And they had the winning pedigree. Lawrence County is trying to repeat as 15th region champions. That that tournament draw is going to be unveiled on Sunday. We're taping this on Friday, so we don't have the luxury of giving that to you right now. It's going to be held at Shelby Valley, though. And I think no matter what the draw,
it's going to come down to those two
teams. It's a collision
course.
Exactly.
I think. Yeah, and they played once in the regular season. Early in the season, Central got Lawrence 8-0, but that was so long ago you kind of throw that out the window. They're familiar with each other's personnel. They've played so many times over the last few years. Of course, used to be in the same district, so you expect that to just you get everybody out there on the field and you just let them go play. All
right, we're going to move on to 2 for the road, and we're going to unveil our picks. We'll be right back. Okay, we're going to close out the show here at Central Park, guys. HTPT's 2 for the road. It's time to unveil our champions, our predicted champions, that is. We do not have a crystal ball here, but we're going to try our best. In the 16th Region Baseball Tournament, guys, who's your champion? Who's your runner-up? Matthew.
Well, it's hard to go it's hard to go against Greenup County. One of the keys in postseason play has to be pitching, and that's where Greenup excels. I think Greenup is going to get to the finals, and they're going to probably meet West Carter. West Carter's bats are really clicking right now. They're really hitting the ball well. But at the end of the day, I think Greenup will take it.
Greenup County's a fun team to watch in the field. Tristan Downing really patrols first base as well as anybody that I've seen at the high school level. And you have Kyle Gammon and Gage Hughes there at second and short. I just like the way their defense to kind of couple with the pitching. And they can string up runs in a hurry. I like Greenup over West too, so we agree.
Yeah, I think West has a chance to put up some runs against them maybe in that scenario, but I think Greenup can put up a few more. To your point about the Comets and the Musketeers are maybe the 2 deepest teams left in the region at this point, so I envision them getting to the finals against each other, but I think Greenup has a little bit too much once they get there.
It's definitely unfortunate for West Carter that they don't have the luxury of having Ben Jordan, but he's only a junior. He'll be back next season, and then he's going on to Kentucky. So good things for the future there. So we're all in agreement, Greenup County over West Carter when it comes to baseball. Now let's move on to the softball. In the middle of the cornfield at Bath County in Owensville.
Field of Dreams.
The Field of Dreams.
As a staff, we're all going to take turns and go to Flemingsburg and go to Owensville throughout the week. So look for the Daily Independent for coverage of all these games, photo coverage as well. Kevin Golding and John Flavel on the scene. They do a great job.
We should probably get some hotel rooms at Moorhead or something.
That's
just
not
to stay up there.
That is not a bad idea at all. Maybe Larry Sloan has a guest couch or something like that. But I'm actually going Boyd County over Round, so he probably won't let me stay there.
No.
All right, guys. Champion.
You can find your own buffet.
Champion and runner-up of the 16th Region Softball Tournament. Zach, go.
Well, I'm going to go runner-up, and this is going to be a little bit of a shocker, but I see East Carter being the runner-up
Wow.
in this thing.
A lot of pressure on them.
That absolutely is. Russell coming out of that top bracket. Now, Russell's got to get past Boyd. They shouldn't have a tremendous amount of trouble with West Carter. Then you got either Boyd or Rao in there. That's not the easiest matchup in the world, but if we get to where it's Russell against East, Russell has been right there with East every step of the way twice already this year, both in Flatwoods and in Grayson. It took kind of a crazy fluke, ridiculous play for East Carter to survive Russell the first time.
Right.
They had a kid that just absolutely came through in the clutch, and not downplaying that by any stretch of the imagination, but it was just a weird situation. Russell goes down that time, and then they take East to extras just a couple of weeks ago. And East is able to prevail there. But Russell knows it can play with East, and that, at this time of the year, that's the most important thing. We saw Russell play East early in the year. Dave Wheeler did some kind of unorthodox things, just trying to get the ball in play. If you're sitting there, you're looking at Montana Fouts, you're just keep the bat on your shoulder, you're in trouble. But if you swing the bat, you try to make some things happen. East has a decent defense, but you got to feel good about your chances if you can just put the ball in play against any high school defense. And Russell's got some grinders that can make some things happen on the base paths as well. So I like Russell to finally get it done.
They lead the region in stolen bases.
They do. I like them to finally get it done. If you can get somebody on base with some of those kids, you probably can get to second, and then you only need a couple things to happen to get a run across.
I'm going to go with Boyd County as my runner-up, and I'm going to have East Carter as my champion. But guys, I think we need to look back at what Dave Wheeler said a couple months ago when they played at Bath County. He said that the ball flies out of there. We're going to probably have some warm weather, if today is any indication, next week, and the ball is going to carry. And we've had some high-scoring games anyway. The pitching overall hasn't been as good as it has been in the past. We still have some good pitchers out there. I'm not saying that, but overall, there's been a lot of walks, a lot of hit batters, and there's been some long games.
Long games.
But so I think it's going to come down to pitching and defense, and I like East Carter over Boyd County. Boyd County Russell is going to be a dandy of a semifinal.
Yeah.
You actually stole my thunder there with the home runs at Bath County's field. I went through a lot of pencils this year, the stats with the runs and everything. When you go up against a stellar pitcher like Montana Fouts, I think you need a confident bunch to do it. I think Russell is that confident bunch. They're really swinging the bat right now. They got a lot of senior leadership on that team, and I think that Russell can get it done.
Wow, so we got Russell over East Carter here, Russell over East Carter there, and we have East Carter over Boyd County in the middle. So, hey, we changed it up there, didn't we?
Yeah.
East Carter, they do, like I mentioned, Zach, they do have a lot of pressure on them.
Absolutely.
And
they've handled that well so
they've
far.
handled it very well.
Yeah.
They've handled it
But-
they play like a seasoned team. They
do.
don't play like sophomores.
Yeah, but the pressure will be intensified in a region tournament.
It will be.
And you know what? They don't want to see Russell again. I can guarantee you that.
They don't want to see,
Especially
they don't want to see Russell
in
again.
a one-game or go
with
home
that,
scenario.
with that pressure. And I know that they say that that's enter their mind with the undefeated streak, but they're human. It has to influence there a little bit. And once you get to the region final, Montana Fouts has pitched 3 days in a row. I know that she's a great pitcher, but that's a lot to put on you. And then, of course, like I've said, Russell's got 3 pitchers that they can go to at any time. So it's going to be a tight ball game. It's going to be a great ball game to watch, and I think Russell's going to slightly pull it out.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, mark it down. Fleming County and Bath County are the sites. Enjoy the 16th region tournament, and also keep an eye on the Daily Independent for coverage, and also coverage leading up to the state tournaments, and also the all area teams for baseball and softball will be coming up as well. A lot of talent in the area. So from Zack Klemme and Matthew Sparks, I'm Aaron Snyder. This has been HTPT's Region Tournament Preview Special from Central Park. See you next time.